All right, so while I am walking to find some place to sit and read my book, I just want to throw out, about like learning the language of the place where you're going to. If you're going someplace that speaks Spanish, an excellent way, for me anyway, of learning has been comprehensible input, utilizing Dreaming Spanish. So Dreaming Spanish is a company that was created, I guess with just the intentions of being able to spread the Spanish language across the world. And they have a lot of free videos and stuff on YouTube, and don't worry, it has nothing to do with sleeping, even though it's called Dreaming Spanish. But anyway, comprehensible input is basically utilizing native content, native speakers, and just listening to just tons of audio, video, everything that's being produced by these native speakers. And so they have like a buttload of videos out now, this on topics of all kinds. It's wild. It's honestly, it's the best. And they have them at different levels, from super beginner, intermediate, advanced. And after you've hit around advanced or so, you can probably start watching like native content and follow along and everything. I would say their advanced videos are probably around a B2. I'm not a language expert, but anyway, I would say it's like a B2 competency level. If you're able to follow along and fully comprehend everything, then you're around a B2 listening comprehension level. And native content then is where you branch out. After that, you can still watch their videos, because they produce some really great videos. Whenever you look back at videos from whenever they first started, they're very basic. They had the founder, Pablo. He's basically just telling stories, and he's at like a dry erase board drawing pictures and stuff. And they've gone from there to where they have like music and video editors and all these different professors, instructors who are telling these stories or just discussing topics, and like they make little shows and little short videos and things just to keep you interested, keep you watching. So anyway, I'm probably at about 850 hours of total content consumed, not just from them. Whenever I hit around like 450 to 500 hours, I started watching more and more native content, with more comprehension, of course, than when I first started. And I've tried the traditional method of like, I did class in college, and I've tried self-study and everything, and I learned to a point, but it all is basically like rote memorization, and it's not, unless you have someone to practice with and listen to and everything, you don't really have a lot of great practice. So this, where you're listening to these native speakers and everything and following along, it really gives you that practice, especially with the ear. And then, whenever you're ready to progress onto speech, you could go and use like italki and stuff like that to go on and like get an instructor or somebody. And there's other apps and things where people just do language exchanges, where you can help practice or help somebody else get their skills in English perhaps improved. But but anyway, so you basically just watch these videos, and I would highly recommend doing, if you're going to be moving somewhere, especially if you're going to be moving somewhere soon, I would advise bare minimum an hour a day. Maybe 2 hours. There are some days, whenever we got to like, I think less than 6 months till we were going to move, I started watching anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a day of Spanish content when I could. Obviously some days it was almost just 15 minutes, but as much as I could. My goal is bare minimum 1 hour a day, but I want to exceed that by however much I possibly can. And at this point, I'm watching videos, I'm trying to read books, and since I'm here, I'm also trying to, interact with folks here, which is awesome, because of course immersion is like the number one thing that you can do for your language experience. But anyway, Dreaming Spanish, hands down, easiest method, cheapest. It's less than like $10 a month. I think it's like $8 a month. I don't even notice it on my credit card anymore. It's just, it's there. And they produce this wonderful content. It's very engaging. you know, and it's very easy to watch, you know, and you just watch. How hard is that? You don't have to like sit down and be like, okay, now I got to study this vocabulary or whatever. Nope, just watching little videos. It's amazing. Anyway, so anybody who's looking to start learning Spanish or improve their Spanish or anything, God, I highly recommend go to dreamingspanish.com, look them up. They have a lot of free YouTube videos that you can like start trying out. And I mean, I know like at first you wonder like, well, how do I know if I'm getting better? Because, you know, if you're going to class or something, at least you can say, well, I passed XYZ test and they told me that I'm, you know, this much better than before or whatever. So it's a little bit harder, especially whenever you first get started, to be like, am I improving? But I mean, I would say give it a minimum of 50 hours of watching the content, and then go back and watch the stuff that you first started with, that you were like, I don't know what's going on, I don't even understand but one word every 3 sentences. You'll be amazed. Like, you'll be amazed at how far you can go in just 50 hours of watching, you know, their super beginner videos, if you're like just starting out, or maybe beginner if you have a little bit of content knowledge of how the Spanish language works. Just give it a 50-hour try. Like, it's impressive. I didn't believe it at first either. I thought, you know, way too easy for somebody lazy like me, or actually it's not really lazy. Well, I am, but still. But it's just more busy. Where am I going to fit in stuff to actually sit down and make myself learn? Don't have to. Just turn it on, watch it, and you got to pay attention. You can't just turn it on in the background and have it running and like, meh. You're not going to just absorb it from it being on in the background. I mean, although that's better than nothing, I suppose. But you know, if you're just paying attention, you don't have to, you know, don't try to translate it in your head. Don't try, just watch it. I promise. Give it 50 hours of content watching. I know that's a lot of time to dedicate, but I mean, really and truly, it will change how your brain receives this other language, and you will start getting it. It's amazing, and it has hands down has been one of the most valuable things that we did before moving here. You know, because not being able to speak the language whenever you immigrate, you know, I know sometimes it happens, you can't control it because you have to move super fast, you know, whatever, but if you can prepare, this is definitely an option I would recommend checking out. You know, because it's so much less intimidation. There's no tests, there's none of that stuff, you know. It's just you watching videos. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's just, I don't know, I can't recommend it enough. It has been just, like I said, hands down the best thing that I started doing. And I mean, I did it minimally whenever I first started. It was just like 20 or 30 minutes a day. And whenever I got probably 25 hours into it, I was like, this actually feels like it's doing something, you know. And so I increased from 20 or 30 minutes a day, or, you know, and then 30 to 40, and then, you know, my goal was at least an hour a day, more if I could do it. And, you know, from there, it's just wow, just absolute wow. So if you're going to learn a language, check them out. I mean, and if you don't use Dreaming Spanish, there's other methods out there that use this. It's just like, I haven't found any that are as comprehensive, like as large as this. Like, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that, you know, they have videos for comprehensible input, you know, but they don't have like, I mean, Dreaming Spanish has like, I don't know, 4,000 videos of content out there now, like, and they keep growing. They put out like, I don't know, 2 or 3 new videos a day or more now. I can't even keep track. So, I mean, as time goes on, their video catalog grows and grows and grows, and their editing and everything gets better and better. I mean, I don't know how they do it. It's great. It's just great. And I'm ever so grateful that, that the founders got together and decided to do this project so that people like me could actually learn language once and for all, instead of just memorizing vocabulary and hoping I'm putting words together and whatever. you know, just being able to understand the people that are talking to me, even if I'm not able to respond as fully and comprehensively as I would like to yet, I can understand what they're saying to me. And so my simple responses to them are more than enough to get me through my day, much easier than having to stop, use a translating app, you know, try and pantomime things and get people to understand me. Just, God, yeah. Just do it. One, learn the language for 100%. Like, go ahead and learn the language, at least the very basics and things to help you get through your day. But, you know, if you're really going to get in there and you want fluency and you want to integrate and everything like we do, comprehensible input, hands down. Dreaming Spanish, most of all. And like I said, I don't get anything for recommending them. I'm just so freaking happy with the progress I've made from their videos and everything. And yeah, I hope one day they see this video so that they can know how wonderful they are, how much they have changed our speaking skills and listening skills for the better. I mean, you know, like Lee, he's like 75% deaf in one ear, and then he has minimal hearing loss in the other. And so he was very nervous that he's not going to be able to do it at all. But, you know, he puts on the noise canceling headphones and everything, and watches their videos. And like, he's been making slow and steady progress. You know, it's great. It is great. Give it a shot. Okay, bye.